This podcast may contain spoilers from whatever TV show or movie is mentioned. Please listen at your own discretion. Welcome to Viewers Anonymous.
Yo, what's going on? I am Scoots Brunson.
And I am S. Foster.
That's right, and you tuned in to the Viewers Anonymous podcast, where we give you takes and reviews of movies and TV straight out of Hollywood. What's going on with you, my guy?
Man, can't call it. Just another day, you know what I'm saying, above ground, so that's always a good day. But, you know, just chilling, man. Had a day off yesterday. Had to take my youngest to the dentist, you know what I'm saying, chip the tooth, and, you know what I'm saying, I had to get that tooth up out of there. But, you know, it was the day off, which ended up being a blessing in disguise.
Mm-hmm.
So I go in today, dude told me, like, because I've been having a problem with my battery and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every once in a while. It's only did it like twice, like the last 2 weeks, where, like, you know what I'm saying, I needed like a jump to get started.
Yeah.
Dude was like, yeah, battery finally died yesterday when I was running your route yesterday. So he was like, yeah,
Wow.
he was like I was down for like 30 minutes, and then, you know, they came and gave me a jump, but they replaced the battery this morning. So I dodged the bullet yesterday, because I would have been sitting at a stop, man, waiting on them to give me a jump. So yeah, man. So I kind of dodged the bullet a little bit. But how about you, man? How you feeling?
Man, I am feeling A-okay, brother. Slow motion is going on this way. Everything is good. Man, you know, I can't really complain, man. Everything is all right for me.
That's what's up, man. Good to hear,
man. Yeah. So, this is one of those episodes, ladies and gentlemen, that you know what I'm saying, we like to do, because this gives us a chance to show love to some of the greatest members of Hollywood who don't necessarily always get the shine that they are supposed to get, or that we feel that they're supposed to get. But we ended up, you know what I'm saying, coming up with something to, you know what I'm saying, like a lot of people say, give them their flowers. And today we are doing what we feel like is one of the best actors in Hollywood. This dude has been doing it for a very long time. He's been in some of your favorite movies. He's been some of your favorite characters sometimes. And, man, listen, he has a catalog, you know what I'm saying, to go with all of the accolades along with it. And today we are talking about the great Don Cheadle, man. This dude is different. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know a lot of guys who can have the type of career he's had. And also, you know, I don't know a lot of people who has the range that he has. And who would know that a dude from Kansas City, Missouri would be able to come out here, you know what I'm saying, and pretty much put together I hate to go to sports, but I mean, that's really the easiest for me, a Hall of Fame career like he's had, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you feel about Don Cheadle, and like, what do you think he brings to the screen?
First and foremost, I mentioned this on the Coming Soon. I just think that a guy like him, which it's like, for some odd reason, it's just like his name always slips your mind. You know, he's one of those guys who, you know, like you mentioned, from Kansas City, Missouri, but he moved around a lot as a kid. But, you know, with his mom being a teacher and his dad being a clinical psychiatrist, like, that's wild. But with them being, you know, quote unquote, educators and educated, you can see how someone like Don Cheadle can really come off of a screen, as far as he comes off as educated. Like, he comes off as a person who can be diverse and go into different roles, and nothing can seem to be out of his range. Mm-hmm. I think that background really helps him out a lot, because coming from, you know, parents like that, you're not surprised that, you know, he ended up going to college for 4 years. Like, that's not surprising. I mean, coming from that type of upbringing is I mean, going to the California Institutes of Arts, he already knew what he wanted to do. Like, I was listening to an interview where he said that, he was doing a play. I think he said when he was 10, he said he was doing Charlotte's Web. And he was just talking about, like, even back then, like, the teacher that, like, was, the drama teacher or whatever, whatnot, they had a degree in this stuff. Like they actually did, like, theater and shit like that. And so then he was like, when I was in high school, he was like, his teacher in high school was, like, in the business. Mm-hmm. So with him having that type of stuff so early, you can see how his career can get kicked off as fast as it did.
Yeah.
And with him being, and I think that doing that makes him so diverse because, I mean, you know this better than me. Like, this dude can play like a straight up gangster, and then he can play like a straight up like activist. Like, he's all over the spectrum. And, like, I have not seen a role that he could not do. You know what I mean?
Right. I mean, for me, man, it's like to me, his most impressive work is when you see him in a role that you don't usually see him, or you wouldn't usually see him in. Like, for me, the when he did the Oceans franchise, and he was in that. Or, you know what I'm saying, when he did excuse me, when he did the TV show about the radio guy, I think it was Showtime or HBO?
I thought you're not talking about Talk to Me, are you?
Yeah, is that the movie?
That's a movie.
What's the show he did on oh my goodness, what is that show?
Well, I know he did a show. He did Lie to Me, which he wasn't a radio host though. He did.
Yeah, it's not. I'm not saying.
You're not talking about Black Monday, are you?
Yeah, Black Monday.
He wasn't a radio host. He worked in Wall Street.
Wall Street. Okay, that's what it was. So I'm just saying, like, even something like that, like, you don't expect to see him in those type of roles. But you know what I'm saying, anything that he usually does, he brings a like a sort of pizzazz to it. Like, for me, seeing him replace Terrence Howard in the MCU, you know what I'm saying, and playing Rhodey, you know what I mean? The basically the right hand man to Tony Stark, even him in that role, that's, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't expect to see Don Cheadle in there, and then, like, to know, like, as he's older, so for him to play that role too, like, that's also, you know what I'm saying, a different thing. And then to see him continuing to be able to get that role and keep that role going, like, he has moments throughout these movies where, you know what I'm saying, we talk about it a lot, how somebody isn't really the main guy or the main person, but whenever they get on screen, they tend to steal the show, or they, you know what I'm saying, they have those moments that stick out more than others. Like in Iron Man, when Tony goes to save Pepper, you know what I'm saying, they land on the roof and he's just sitting there and he like, you know, what took y'all so long? You know what I'm saying? They all talking, they get the kids, and he like, you know, get your own roof. You know, like, just having those little jokes, like his performance in these movies, you know what I'm saying? They really stand out. He really does a great job with, you know what I'm saying, bringing these characters to life. And in a weird way, I don't know if you feel like this too, and I'll let you go after this, but I don't know if you feel like this too, but to me, it's always like, whenever he's in a role, it never feels like it's him. You know what I mean? Like, you know how, like, some people, they'll take a role, like, for instance, like with Denzel, right?
Okay.
Denzel will take a role, and we know that, you know what I'm saying, it's Denzel or whatever, but it feels like it's Denzel playing a character because he's so good at what he does. Like, it's not like he's just this same character every time, because he's not. We know that, but I'm saying, like, because Denzel is so good, because he adds certain things to these characters. It's like you feel like Denzel does this in real life, but with this particular character, he's making sure it stands out. With Don Cheadle, it seems as if like each character is different and it's not Don Cheadle. You know what I mean?
No, I know exactly what you mean. And I think with Denzel, as great as he is, Denzel has played a cop a lot.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of like when you think about Don Cheadle, it's kind of like, yo, what has he played a lot of? You know what
Exactly.
I mean? He's so all over the spectrum where you can't really look. Denzel Washington could never be in a box. The only box that he could be in is greatness. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But Don Cheadle does so many roles that are all over the place. I see what you're saying, how you can't really tie him into a certain type of thing. You know, like, you know, I didn't realize this, but his role wasn't big in it, but like he played in like Hamburger Hill in 1987, right? For the people that don't know, Hamburger Hill is just basically, you know, it's a Vietnam movie. You know, around this time, a lot of Vietnam movies was coming out, but like this was the one they call it Hamburger Hill because like that was that like Americans kept getting like the Vietnam people was punishing them on this hill, like they just could not conquer this hill. Then eventually they ended up, you know, making their way to the top and killing everybody, and like basically that's what the movie ended. But like Don Cheadle's in that, and then next thing you know, he's in Colors. You know what I'm saying? Playing Rocky, where he's playing a, you know what I'm saying, the head of the Crips.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like you want to talk about a flip of a coin, like that's two totally different roles back to back.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like he's able to come over here to the MCU, you know what I'm saying, to play roles, but then he can come over here and be thieves with the Oceans franchise.
Mm-hmm.
So then it's just like you cannot tie this man in a box. Like literally. Like his career is so all over the place where it's gotten to a point where it's kind of like it's gonna be fun. This is fun. He's kind of like OJ, man.
OJ Simpson?
Yeah.
Okay. Explain this one.
Okay, check this out. So you remember in the Made in America joint, right?
Yeah.
Where like OJ was, you remember the part where OJ was sitting at the table and they was like, yo, they was like OJ over there sitting with all the niggas.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was like, he said, but did you hear that though? He said OJ was like, he wasn't offended that the white man said nigga. He was like, look, you labeled me as OJ.
Yeah.
So he was like, you distanced me from them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and what I mean by that is like Don Cheadle have done so many roles where they're all over the place. Like we can't tie him into anything.
Yeah.
And like I said earlier, not to be mistaken, people, the only box Denzel can fit in is greatness. But at the same time, he's played a lot of cops.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's played a cop of the FBI agent like a bunch of times. So, you know, it's kind of like we've seen him, even though every version of him playing a cop has been different. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, he's still a cop. And it's just
we tend to see him in a lot of dramatic roles. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't really get a chance to see Denzel playing in a comedic role or you know what I'm saying, or even playing, you know what I'm saying, like even playing in a comedic movie, you know what I'm saying, or you know maybe something that's sci-fi or something like that. Like we don't get a chance to see him.
Even romantic movies.
I mean, now he done had some romantic movies now.
Well, he does romantic things, but it's never been a situation where like he's like.
Fences was a romantic movie.
I don't know, man. That seemed like more like a struggle movie to me. But I mean, I get what you're saying. But
it was about a man and his wife and his son, right?
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm talking about like him trying to get a girl, like trying to get the girl to fall in love with him type
We
shit.
don't. We first off, that don't count. You can't do that with Denzel because all the girls want Denzel. It would be a movie like it would more so be a movie of him trying to fight women off. You know what I'm saying? You can't make a movie like that with Denzel. That's not believable.
Okay.
So that would not get. You know, like we know this, man. Denzel always got the ladies, man. We already know that part. But with Don Cheadle, man, like I think it's dope because like he's had so much range. And before you guys, you know what I'm saying, finish listening, this is not a comparison of
Yeah.
Denzel Washington and Don Cheadle. This is more like basically giving you examples of where we feel like Don Cheadle can get to towards the end of his career. I think that he's definitely going to be one of the greats. I think that he's definitely going to be up there with a Denzel Washington, a Morgan Freeman, a James Earl Jones. You know what I'm saying? Like because of his range and what he's done. Like for instance, we don't even give him credit for playing, which I don't think anybody has done yet. But he played an algorithm in Space Jam. He didn't even play a real character. He played an
Yeah.
algorithm in Space Jam. You know what I'm saying? Like that in itself, like I just would like to know what the preparation was for that because there's no you don't have an algorithm to research and go see and what it is to be able to put that into action and say okay this is what an algorithm does, this is what an algorithm, you know what I'm saying, like you don't
Yeah.
have that. So for him to be able to create that character and then you know what I'm saying, even though he wasn't really playing in the movie with a lot of characters, it's even to me I feel like it's a little bit harder because he's doing it with green screen. He's doing it with CGI. He's doing voiceover. Like he's doing a lot of different work. And on top of that, he's acting voiceover and like he's adding those two together. He got CGI going. Like it's a bunch of different things happening in this movie. And he still put on a great performance to where you like, oh man, like even though it's not the original Space Jam, it held up pretty good. Like I think the new Space Jam was, you know what I'm saying, pretty decent. But then you get a movie to where you know what I'm saying? Like he's playing a dramatic role, like in you know what I'm saying, when he was doing the Goat movie, the Earl Manigault movie.
Man, go. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And for him to play that role, you know what I'm saying? It's really a timepiece about a player, you know what I'm saying, a historic movie basically. And he even in that, you don't feel like, you know what I'm saying, this is Don Cheadle. You start to look at it like, yo, this dude Earl Manigault was a beast. You know what I'm saying? Like even me
Yeah.
watching that movie, when I got done watching that movie, I was like, yo, I had to go find out who the fuck Earl Manigault was because that's how great of a job he did. You know what I'm saying? To be able to, for him to be able to portray this person who not a lot of people knew about and to be able to put his life in on the screen and give it and actually bring it to life. So, you know what I'm saying, people could learn about him. I thought that, you know what I'm saying, him being able to do that was good. So you know what I'm saying, to be able to see him play all of these different roles and not necessarily even, you know what I'm saying, like just having a consistent role that he's in. You know what I mean? Like me
Mm-hmm.
personally, anything that's like a time period piece where like it's like the 70s or 80s in that and he's playing that, I love him in that.
Yeah. Yeah, Rebound, man, that was one of those movies like if you went from New York, you know what I'm saying, you didn't really know
Mm-hmm.
who Earl Manigault was.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, Uncle Washington was able to speak to me about,
Right.
Manigault and how, he was like the first person that people kind of like seen with their own eyes to be under 6 foot and dunk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know, for us, for the world, it was Spud Webb for us, for the world.
Yeah.
But like for New York, they're like, yo, there's this one kid that's, he got like a 50-something inch vertical, and he's a junkie.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, like as far as like, I mean, you talking about timepieces, man, like a movie like Rosewood,
Yeah.
that he played with Vin Rames,
He was
and
Sylvester.
yeah, he was Sylvester, and the way he had to carry out, after the people came and shot his moms and everything, And well, Rosewood was, for the people that don't know, like this was down in Florida where same old shit where a black person was accused of raping a white woman, and so they really kind of burnt this town down. Like it was a black town. People was thriving. People was making their own money. Money was staying in the neighborhood. It wasn't as successful as like a Black Wall Street, but like black people was making money in Rosewood. And
well, it was a self-sustaining neighborhood. Well, it was a self-sustaining town. I'm saying neighborhood. It was a self-sustaining town in Florida where they didn't really, you know what I'm saying? Like they didn't really need anybody or any, you know what I'm saying, anything for real. They kind of, you know what I'm saying, made sure that they was, you know what I'm saying, living off of each other, and it was farming, and people had their own businesses and stuff like that. They were really a true self-sustaining town.
Yeah. And then it all went away because white woman didn't want to admit that she was cheating on her husband, you know what I'm saying? So she just blamed it on the black man. So even him playing that role, that was a timepiece. And, he always finds a way to mold himself into the character. And
that's putting it perfectly. That's exact. You just said what I've been trying to say this whole time. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, like he's, very good at it. And and so that ended up coming out, and so you have a movie like he does Earl the Man of Goat, you know what I'm saying, in Rebound in 96. You know what I'm saying? Devil in the Blue Dress in 95, you know what I'm saying, that he did with Denzel or whatever. But then even to have something like Meteor Man in 2000, in 1993, you know what I'm saying, with Robert Townsend, which Robert Townsend, people need to know, funded and did that movie himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And Meteor Man is like not even a hood classic, but like a black classic.
Right.
For what he was able to do to create a black superhero. A black hero. You know what I'm saying? And he played Goldilocks in there, you know what I'm saying? We had the blonde hair and shit. But like he, within getting in all of these roles, man, it's kind of like I feel like at this point, like he still didn't hit his stride. You know what I'm saying? Even playing in a smaller role, you know what I'm saying, in the movie Volcano, I'm into shit like that. Like I watched that movie because I'm into, I guess you could say, disaster movies. You know what I'm saying? But then even really,
I forgot about that.
It's more of like, man, it's more of like being fascinated with nature and all the shit that the earth can do. You know what I'm saying? And Volcano was crazy. Like, man, that one scene where the lava was coming down the street, and then the tires started busting because the ground was so hot. And it's just like, yo, boy, can you imagine, man? There was one scene where my man was trying to walk through that shit, man, and his shoes started melting. Yo, I'm trying to tell you, boy, lava ain't no joke, boy. Lava is not no joke. But look, we got to get into it, man. You know what I'm saying? 1997, he had a big year. Rosewood, Volcano, and the all-time, the Boogie Nights. You know what I'm saying? And like, yo, look, people got to stop sleeping on Boogie Nights, man. Boogie Nights was my joint. Boogie Nights was a movie about this man in the porn industry where porn was, I don't know necessarily making a term, but it was just more of like, he wanted to take this young kid, you know what I'm saying, Mark Wahlberg, who was really coming off of, being Marky Mark, was really a rapper. See, people forget. Every time we say who's the best rapper turned movie star, we always forget about Mark Wahlberg, man. We forget about Marky Mark.
No, we don't.
Is that because you don't consider him a rapper? Is that why? No,
because Mark Wahlberg has a streaky catalog of movies. Like later Mark Wahlberg, great. He got a great catalog of movies. Early Mark Wahlberg, not so much.
Oh, all right.
And I'm gonna be honest with you. And another reason is he's not even the best Wahlberg actor.
You like Donnie better?
Come on, bro.
Listen, I like that.
Donnie ain't Donnie in Blue Bloods? Come on, man.
Now, see, this is the thing. See, I never really got into Blue Blood, right? But hold on, man. Now you got me. Hold on, with y'all.
You tripping, bro. And Donnie was on New. And Donnie is the most famous Wahlberg.
Nah,
he was on New Kids on the Block.
No, that is he was in New Kids on the Block, but dude,
New Kids on the Block was way bigger than Marky Mark, bro. Don't do that.
Well, Marky Mark, yeah, Marky Mark, yes, but movie wise, no. Dude,
come on, bro. He in Blue Bloods.
I hear you. So you got Fear in '96, Boogie Nights in '97. All right. I was big on this. I don't know if everybody else was, but he did The Corruptor. I thought The Corruptor.
Anytime you got a preface, I was big on this. I don't know if anybody else was.
No, I'm telling you.
Come on, man.
Because listen. I'm telling you, The Corruptor was fucking good, man.
So I'm sure it was, but I'm saying anytime you have underground movie,
okay,
that lets you know.
Okay, all right. He did Three Kings in '99.
That was good. That's where it started.
He did The Perfect Storm in 2000.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He did Planet of the Apes in 2001. Rockstar.
That's where it continued to get good.
All right. So Italian Job, 2003. Which I think we did that on this podcast.
That was when his star rose.
Okay. Then you got Four Brothers in 2005.
Yep.
Then you got Invincible and you got Departed the same year. Invincible was stupid, but you got Departed.
Don't do Invincible like that, man. It was all right.
Yeah, all right. Then you got Shooter. You got Shooter in 2007. We on the Night in 2007. You know what I'm saying? We always talk shit. This might be what you're talking about. Now, I need to go back. People keep telling me I need to go back and watch The Happening. They said that I could have just been mistaken in it. But Max Payne, which I think everybody thought Max Payne was going to be dope as fuck. And it kind of...
If you played the game, you definitely thought it was.
Okay, so then you got Lonely Bones, which I went into that. All right, so then you got Date Night, the other guys.
That's where it started right there. That's where it took off. Like it took off a little bit where Four Brothers and them was, but like other guys, oh man, it was going from there. Transformers after that, like he was doing everything.
Oh no. See, you skipping. See, I said
what came after the other guys?
Okay, so the other guys, same year he did The Fighter. All right, so then you got Culture Band and Ted in the same year.
Boom, he out of there.
All right. So then you got Broken City, Pain and Gain. Pain and Gain was hilarious.
Come on,
I'm
bro.
sorry. That shit was hilarious.
Come on, bro.
Then you got Two Guns and Lone Survivor. Then you get
Two Guns was fire, him and Denzel.
Okay, my fault, y'all. I lost internet. So then you got The Gambler, you got Ted 2, you got Daddy's Home, you got Deepwater Horizon, Patriots Day. Then let me see. So then you already got one Transformer joint. I skipped that one. That one came out in 2014. Then the other one came out 2017. Then you got Daddy's Home. You got Mile 22, which was dope as fuck. Mile 22 was dope. Spencer Confidential. Then to me, this is when it kind of started, you know what I mean, filtering down for what you had said. But like, dude, Mark Wahlberg got a fucking mean catalog, man. I don't know what you're talking about.
He does have a great catalog. All I'm saying is Marky Mark was never bigger than New Kids on the Block, and Donnie is in Blue Bloods. Donnie has been in Blue Bloods forever, bro.
I understand it, but I guess you had
and Donnie has done some movies too.
Yeah, he did one movie we did. Dead Silence. He was in Dead Silence. He was the cop.
All I'm saying is,
and he was in Saw. He was in like what?
All I'm saying is,
when
we go back and we check the track record, bro, Donnie Wahlberg may be the biggest Wahlberg.
Man, we gotta disagree on that one. I like Donnie.
I'm just saying, bro.
I like Donnie, but I don't know. But okay, right. So I was at Boogie Nights, and so he plays Buck in Boogie Nights. The all-time part, yo. is just the turn of events of what happened to Buck. So Buck goes to he started dating this one girl, and so he goes to the bank to get this loan because he has an idea. I can't remember. He wanted to open up this record, not a record store, but a place that sold like speakers and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And they wouldn't give him a loan because his previous occupation was being a porn star.
Yeah.
So they was like, we don't want to get into business with you. So later on in the movie, you know, he's all mad about not being able to get the loan. So he goes to this place to buy donuts, and then somebody come in there and robs the donut place, right? So somebody goes, well, they come in there, they get the money, and the person that they robbed shot him, and then the other guy fired back at the same time, so both of them motherfuckers died, and he was able to scoop up the money. So he got the money that he needed to start his damn his stereo joint. You know what I'm saying? For somebody robbing the damn donut shop where he was at. But just being like in Boogie Nights, where he was really like the only like, well, it was like maybe like 3 black people in Boogie Nights.
Yeah.
But like he was the most important one that was in it. And like even with being in that environment, he still was able to blend in just as well. You know what I mean? It's wild how Don Cheadle can get a role, and it's like as good as he is, and this is not a slight when I say this. It's like he never really steals a scene, but he's never fucked up a scene. You know what I mean? Like,
or he's never been like to me, what I like about Don Cheadle the most, right, is you know how with certain actors, because they don't have the necessary like range or whatever, they feel like the one black person in the movie.
Yeah.
Don Cheadle never feels like that, like the black guy in the movie. He always feels like, and even though you know he's the black guy in the movie, it just doesn't feel that way. Like to me, he has such a skill set that he kind of transcends that. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of look at everybody else like, yeah, he kind of showing y'all up. Even though, like you said, he ain't still in the scene, but he's doing so well in this movie. It's like you can't really be mad at that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like it's like and I remember he was speaking on doing Crash,
and
he was like, "This is the thing that people seem to misunderstand about Crash." He was like, "Some people can watch Crash and be like, yo, like it's a terrible movie," and then he was like, "And they're right." And he was like, and there's some people that can watch it and be like, yo, this is a phenomenal movie. He was like, and they're right. He was like, it was a middle of the road movie.
Yeah.
And he was just like,
but it was great though.
I'm on the other side. Well, not necessarily. Okay. It wasn't a bad movie. It was, to me, it was cool. And what I didn't like about Crash was all the acclaim that it got. Because I was like, I didn't think that it was deserving of all the acclaim that it got.
Really?
But I did not. Yes, I was on that side. Not that it wasn't good. I was just like, all right, for it to be nominated for as much stuff that it was nominated for, I was like, I don't get that part of it.
I mean, as far as the story, the cast, and basically everything that kind of happened around it, like for the cast to be what it was, and then for the story to be as good as it was, because the story kind of told you one big story through all of these different POVs, but it all, you know what I'm saying, melded together and kind of wrapped around, and it was like
all met.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. Like it was such a clever way to do a movie that I don't think we've ever seen a movie done like that before. And if we have, it wasn't to that caliber. That's why I think it was such a great movie, because it was like, damn, you kind of, you know what I'm saying? You kind of see how all of this shit is connected, even though they don't even like it breaks it down to where it doesn't even show you that. in the beginning, you just kind of think you've seen it from, you know what I'm saying, different points of view. And you like, well, what does all this got to do with each other? And then finally, when it breaks down and shows you everything, it's like, damn, this was a pretty good movie.
Yeah. I mean, look, I feel you. Like, I didn't, do not misunderstand me. It wasn't a trash movie. It wasn't trash.
Right.
I was just like, okay, for all the stuff that it's nominated for, like for me personally, it wasn't that good.
Mm-hmm.
But with it being said, that was a good movie. One movie that stands out to me, and I think I said this to you before, when we was having a Nicolas Cage conversation. Well, I mean, it wasn't really a conversation. We were just kind of speaking on Nicolas Cage, and I was just like, to me, like the movies that always come to mind is like 8mm, like the National Treasure movies, and we both agree on
National Treasure for sure.
The Ghost. We both agreed that the Ghost Rider joints could have been way better. They was trash. Yeah. But what stands out to me is a movie that he did with Don Cheadle called The Family Man. Now that
was a great movie.
Yo, I fucking love that movie.
That was a great movie. Don Cheadle being an angel is hilarious.
That is hilarious. Like that shit was so fucking funny. But dog, oh my god, T. Leon, that was the best she ever looked in her whole entire life. Was in Family Man. But that's
I don't know, man. Wasn't she in Fun with Dick and Jane? Wasn't that her in Fun with Dick and Jane?
I thought that was Renee Zellweger. What's her name? That wasn't her?
No, that wasn't Renee Zellweger. Hold on, go ahead. But I'm gonna
go ahead. But him being an angel, man, and
that was her.
Oh, okay. Shit. The only other thing that I could like think off the top of my head, she was in the League of Their Own. She was one of the baseball players, and she was in Bad Boys, obviously. But yeah, like him being an angel, and then the way that they met, that shit was funny. And like him like being like a gangster, like that shit was so funny.
When he was robbing the
convenience store. Yeah. He wasn't robbing the store at first. He said he won the lottery, and the dude.
Yeah, he didn't believe him, so he had to put a gun out on him.
Yeah, so that was just funny, but like, yeah, Nicolas Cage in that movie, man, he showed his ass in fucking The Family Man. But The Family Man, I would tell you something about that movie that is dope. Is getting a glimpse of what your life could have been if you made a different decision. Yeah. To me, first of all, let me ask you this. Would you want that to happen to you? Because me personally, I'm one of the people of like, yo, there's certain shit I don't want to know. And it's like, would you want to experience, like, if you would have made one different decision and this angel is able to give you a glimpse of what your life would have been, would you want to see that?
No, because if it's some shit to where like I end up hitting it big and then like I'm a multi-millionaire, I'm gonna be pissed. Like, bro, you really showed me this? Like you could have just left this in the tuck, my man. You ain't had to show me. I gotta go back to what I'm living now. Nah, I'm good. Because I'm gonna want to switch. I'm gonna want to switch places.
Yeah, and see what he did was just. Well, the thing that was going to be different was they were too old for. I mean, look, don't get me wrong. I know not necessarily because people are having kids like crazy now in their 40s. But like his was just, if he would have stayed with her, he would have been, the salesman. They would have had a pretty decent life, but they would have had their 2 kids, a dog, and he was the family man. But see, he was a bachelor who was like the top man working in stocks and all of that type shit. But he was able to.
He was living life.
Yeah, he was living life, but he was able to, sit down and have a drink with her and see if they could rekindle. See, that thing was more of like the girl.
BS.
What do you mean BS? I don't think it was BS.
Dude, if you are this rich...
I see what you're saying.
You are this rich dude who's like at the top of his game in his career. I mean, like he got like Porsches. He living on this beautiful beachfront property, and then this angel pops up out of nowhere. Like, this is what you could have had. Listen, I know you ain't supposed to harm angels, But that's when you guys stiff on the angel in the face, like, sir, let me live my life. Just leave me alone. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Don't show me this.
Man, why you acting like you ain't never been in love, man? You know
That's not the point. I've also been a bachelor with a little bit of money. You know what I'm saying? So I can imagine how it is if I had a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna lie, the bachelor life is pretty all right if you got a lot of money. Being in love ain't fun as being the bachelor. I can guarantee you that.
Oh man, for me, it depends on what they decide to use. Because like if they decide to use like if it was just like yo, if you wouldn't have been sleeping in class all the time and didn't have a 2.5 GPA, you could have went to here and this could have happened and be like, you know what?
Don't show me that. Don't show me that.
I don't want to know.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
now, if you was like, if the angel came down and was like, man, you should be glad this happened because this is what your life could have been like, and then like I'm pushing a Kroger's grocery cart under a bridge with all my essentials in it so I can sleep, then I'm like, my man, I appreciate you, thank you, but like anything outside of anything bad that could have happened, don't show me nothing good that could have happened to me because then I'm gonna just be sitting in life like, damn, bro, you know what I could have been like. That'd be my whole thing. Like anytime something happens, like I'll be at work and I mess up, it's like, man, you just can't get it right. Shut up, nigga. You know what I could have been. Like, that's what I'm saying. Don't show me nothing like that. Let this be the greatest. Like I want whatever I'm at now. Let that be the greatest point to where I'm at the current time. Don't let it be. Like, man, you could have been, you know what I'm saying, 100,000 there. No, I don't, get out of here, man.
That's hilarious. Damn. Yo, I didn't even remember him in Swordfish.
Yeah, I think he had like a small part.
Well, they got him in Rush Hour 2.
I remember him.
I remember him because he knew Chinese.
Yeah,
and,
he had the Chinese wife.
He was like, he was like, hey man, I know what you said.
Hey yo, but one movie that you know what I'm saying that I think kind of helped him like get that boost and really kind of not necessarily define his career, but kind of got his career to where he's, you know what I'm saying, it kind of established him as like one of those guys was Hotel Rwanda. And a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, a lot of people seen it, and I'm sure now like a lot of people haven't seen it, but if you ever get a chance, definitely go back and watch that movie because not only is it a light that was shined on what was actually happening in Rwanda at the time, where I think it was oh man, I forgot what that army is called. Hold on, give me a minute.
Why are you looking at that?
It was the Hutus in Rwanda, and they basically had just staged the coup and just kind of took over, you know what I'm saying, the government and and they basically just had it was a whole thing where they were, you know what I'm saying, basically damn near on the brink of genocide for that whole country. And you know what I'm saying, for him to be able to play that role and help tell that story, I think that was very, very important because we don't get a lot of movies like that. Especially movies where, you know what I'm saying, it's telling the story of people that look like us. So, you know what I'm saying, a movie like that is very important. And for him to be able to take that role and, you know, and bring light to that situation, I thought was super, super dope. And then in the same year he did that, he also did Ocean's 12. You know what I'm saying? So it's like that is a huge thing to go from a movie like that to then go to Ocean's 12. You know, that's big. A lot of people don't get those opportunities. And for him to be able to, you know what I'm saying, get those roles, I think that was a major, major thing in his career. And I think that kind of helped catapult him into what he is today.
I agree with you. And also, if I'm not mistaken, I know Denzel was one of the names. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Will. So he was sitting down with the director of that movie, and they said that, yo, if we can get one of these two guys, we're going to choose them over you.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, he was so in love with the script. He was like, do whatever you need to do, but this movie needs to be done. He was
Mm-hmm.
more on the side of like, this story needs to be told. If
Mm-hmm.
you feel that it's going to be better told without me, then do it.
Yeah.
So it ended up going to him, obviously. So he does the movie, right? And so then he's speaking with the director. He was like, we was at this dinner, and he said that the director was like, yo, if we don't get any Oscar nominations, I'm gonna stop putting money into plugging this movie.
Right.
And he was like, wait a minute, like this movie is bigger than just, you know what I'm saying, winning an Oscar. Like we need to, get this movie out there so the the story isn't a very important story. And he was saying that he was really, really disappointed with the guy, with him saying that, because he was just like, this industry isn't just built on and about winning awards. He was like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? It's about the arts. It's about the stories that are being told, and et cetera, et cetera. So yeah, I think that I could be wrong here, but I think he even said like he never even really worked with this guy again because he kind of
Yeah.
felt like that was bullshit. But yeah, you're right, man. Like the the Ocean's 12 joints,
Mm-hmm.
with them coming out, like those movies was the thing. Like
Yeah. Big
Ocean's
franchise.
11, Ocean's 12, and Ocean's 13. They ended up doing Ocean's 8 with the girls or
Mm-hmm.
whatnot. Which, yo, did you hear what Andrew said?
Yeah.
Ombre edit. Yeah, that shit was
Yeah. That was
hilarious.
hilarious. That was hilarious.
That was hilarious.
That was hilarious.
Oh
But I
man,
mean,
that was
like
good.
this is like we talking about a dude who's so good at what he does, bro. Like he has multiple franchises under his belt. You know what I'm saying? From the Oceans franchises to the MCU Iron Man franchises to just the Avengers franchise. Like that's huge. You know what I'm saying? From doing that to doing TV shows, commercials, you know what I'm saying, remakes like this I mean, he's done music videos, um, he's done voiceovers, you know what I'm saying, for cartoons and animated movies. Like this dude really does it all, man.
Dude, it's not only that, man. It's the fact that we spoke about earlier. He got House of Lies, which ran from 2012 to
Mm-hmm.
2016. It was 58 episodes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then you got what we talked about earlier, Black Monday, which is, you know what I'm saying, one of my favorite shows.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that I watch on there. That goes from 2019 to 2021. It ended up being 30 episodes. But like to be able to, be on, doing TV and doing movies, like, and then like you said, the MCU, which is, man, that check is
Crazy.
those checks are nuts. And
Crazy.
then, okay, look, hold on, man. We gotta talk about this, man. Now, I know that the story is out there. I didn't research it before we started, but for the people that follows the MCU, we all know Terrence Howard was Rose in
Yep.
Iron Man 1. I, I feel like I've heard something where I don't know if like Empire or something came up or something happened, and I don't know if like it's Terrence Howard. I think Terrence Howard turned down doing it, but
Yeah, I
not
think so.
knowing what it was going to end up becoming,
Mm-hmm.
because that was very early. Iron Man was, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, that was the kickoff to this.
That was
It was
like
the
early
it was
2000s.
yeah, it was the first like movie. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
not in the time order because the time order says, what I'm saying, Captain America the First Avenger was first, and
No, Captain Marvel was before that. No, you're right. It was Captain
yeah,
America, then Captain Marvel. I'm
then
sorry.
Captain Marvel, yeah.
Yeah.
But kicked all of this off
Iron Man.
was Iron Man.
Yep.
And so I think that maybe Terrence Howard was like, oh well,
actually, because I've had this debate before, right? And I'm checking this now. So I want to say, and let me check this. All right, cool. So I tell people all the time, I think that Iron Man came out after the Hulk. And I think the Hulk was the one that started all of this. Because there's a cut scene in the Hulk, the end credit scene in the Hulk where Tony Stark is talking to Bruce Banner about, you know what I'm saying, getting into all this.
So you talking about the one with Eric Banner?
No, the one with Ed Norton.
So the one with Eric Banner didn't have nothing. Yeah, that one didn't have nothing to do with
it. No, the one with Eric Banner was the worst.
That was just the Incredible Hulk movie.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I thought that one was all right.
No, he was fighting the big ass dogs.
Yeah, man.
That shit was trash, bro. That shit was horrible.
Man, you had my man, that was his name, Nick Nolte, you know what I'm saying? When he bit the thing and then he grew up to this big ass version of the Hulk.
So the Hulk came out after Iron Man. So Iron Man was first. So I did lose that. I gotta call my dude and apologize. Let him know he was right. But yeah, Iron Man started all of this, but the Hulk was the second one after that.
Yeah. And it's just like maybe he didn't think that this was gonna turn into what it turned into, but now seeing it, it seemed like it fits Don Cheadle better. But I guess that's because we've seen it play out. You know what I'm saying?
Don Cheadle was gonna be better regardless. There was no way Terrence Howard was gonna be a better Rhodes than Don Cheadle. Hey Tony, man, I'm on your left, man. No. No.
Hey man, are you seeing all of these memes that are coming out and they put Maine on everything?
The Spider-Man is my favorite one. Spider-Man is my favorite one.
Oh, yo, they tripping.
They got him with the DJ Slick back too. That shit is hilarious.
DJ, man, DJ.
They got him standing on the top of the subway train with the mask in his hand, talking about Terrence Howard and Spider-Man. I was like, man, they are crazy, bro.
Oh man, the internet strikes again, man.
For sure.
But yeah,
man, let's do this, man. Let's go ahead and get into our top three.
Okay.
All right, man. So, man, I gotta make a top three joint.
This is okay.
Have a top three cut for the show. We got to make that happen. So top three Don Cheadle movies. What do you got?
Oh man, this is really tough, man, because you got the MCU joints. It's hard to pick one out of there. Not even really that it's hard to pick one out of there. It's hard not to make them your three. You know what I mean? Because you can just I'm gonna have to, if I have to pick one of them, I gotta go with Endgame.
Okay.
So I'm gonna get out of that lane. So I'm gonna take Endgame. I would have to go. Damn, this is tough because like when you start to think about other movies, like he's not the lead in a lot of his movies,
right?
Especially the great ones. Yo, this is a lot tougher than I thought. I would have to say, yo, do I really want to go Boogie Night? Nah. I'm gonna go. Okay, so I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Family Man,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go. For the performance that he did, I'm gonna do Talk to Me. I'm gonna say Talk to Me.
Okay.
I think he killed that. I think he killed that. It's really hard to go with one of the Ocean's movies, but I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go there. No, you know what? Yeah. I'm gonna go there. It's hard,
Okay.
man. Because I was about to say I was about to say Iron Man 2, but I was like, that's another MCU, man. I said I'm
Yeah.
just gonna pick one of them. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I'm gonna go with that.
So I'm gonna go Rebound because man, that movie is fire. Even though, you know what I'm saying, it was one of those, it was an HBO movie. I know it didn't get the screenplay it was supposed to get, but it was still such a fire movie. But definitely Rebound. I'm going Rosewood. And then for my last joint, I would probably have to go. Man,
See, it's tough, man. He got
it really
106
is, bro.
credits.
It really is, bro. I would probably have to go with Brooklyn's Finest. Brooklyn's Finest was fire.
Brooklyn's Finest was good, and you know what,
Yeah,
man?
I
I have
say
not
Brooklyn
done.
Finest.
I have not done this, man, but I gotta do it, man.
Mm-hmm.
I said talk to me because he was a lead,
Yeah,
but I might have to bump that out for Meteor Man, man. Meteor Man was my joint.
yeah, I know. I was edging on Meteor Man, but I'm like,
I,
nah, because he had a role in it, but he wasn't really the man. But that scene where he did the karate joint and he was getting busy, can't be mad at that, bro.
yeah, that's what I'm
Can't be mad at
saying,
that.
man. God, man, yeah.
But yeah, those are my three, man. So man, let's get into the coming soon, bro.
Let's do it.
Coming soon to own on video and DVD.
All right, man. On our next episode, we have a great documentary for you. I know you guys have seen Back to the Future, and if you haven't, you've heard the references of it or you know the references of it. But the most famous reference of all, man, is the DeLorean, the time machine that they use to go back in time, and it's actually a car. But we got a documentary about the creator of the car. That's right, the John DeLorean documentary. We cover that in the next episode, and man, it is some things that get revealed in this documentary that are wild.
Well, this will be my first time watching this.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it, but I just, never found the time to really get into it. So
Mm-hmm.
this would be my first time watching this. So I gotta let you take it from here.
But basically, it talks about how the DeLorean was basically a one-of-a-kind car, and it kind of chronicles everything that John DeLorean went through to get the car made. Not only that, it kind of talks about a little foul play, you know what I'm saying, on the back end of why we never got a continuation of the car until recently. So, yeah, make sure you guys watch that. Then, you know what I'm saying, tune in for the next episode. You will enjoy it just like we are going to enjoy making the episode. But man, listen, if you guys like this, if you guys didn't like it, you want to just hit us up, tell us something, send us a suggestion. Feel free to do so. Hit us up on our socials on Instagram and Twitter at ViewerNonPod. You can also hit us up on Facebook at VA Pod Watch Group. And then if you want to hit me directly, you can find me on Twitter at Scoots Bronson. I have a link tree in the bio. You can find me everywhere else there.
And y'all can find me at s.foster8 on Instagram and on Twitter at 28 minutes or less pod. That is just on IG. Follow the podcast. 28 minutes or less. It's on all major platforms. Man, your boy hit episode 100. Well, I did best sequels. So let me know what y'all think about some of the movies that I mentioned there in the top 10 that I gave in there. So that's all I got, man.
Cool, man. Cool. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, your support is greatly appreciated. And until the next episode, man, like they say in Hollywood, that's a wrap.
Cut.